And first of all, happy Valentine's weekend to everyone watching at home. And we are streaming live from Harmony Media, Facebook, YouTube. I'm your host, Dina Avila, and this is your Harmony Perspective. Now, tonight, we are going to figure out the difference between loving for the likes and loving from the heart, right? So, in the 501, dating can feel like a fishbowl. You go out once, and by the next morning, the whole town has you married or you're in trouble. So, because of that pressure, many of the Gen Zs and us millennials are settling for vibes instead of value. But your heart is a jewel. You don't just leave it on the sidewalk for anyone to pick up. And of course, with the height versus the heart, we are speaking of values, and we would like to bless a lucky viewer tonight with $100 cash tonight. But of course, you have to earn it, and you must play our triple threat challenge, where I'll be giving you guys three very easy questions, and you call in, and if you have all three correct answers, you win that cash prize. Now, remember, you must pay attention to the entire show in order to be a winner. And with everything, we must put God first. So I ask you to be quiet and not reverent as we open with prayer. Father God, we thank you that you are the author of love. We pray today for the hearts of our young people in Belize. In a world that tells us to follow our feelings, help us to follow your word. Heal those hurting from past breakups and give clarity to those in situationships. Teach us to value ourselves as much as you value us. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. Now, amen. And let's anchor this in the word of God. We start off with Proverbs 4:23. Proverbs 4:23, which says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Now, with that said, we're looking at red and green flags. So we need to learn to guard our heart. And we're going to get a little bit more into guarding our heart and what these beautiful images that you guys are seeing represent. So we are going to have a question or a scenario up for you guys, and you will let us know in the comment section, or also there will be a QR code on the screen if you want to participate in our live poll. And you will let us know, is that a green flag or is it a red flag? No. What? It's a February Love Month Harmony Media show with all the OG, the original Miss Faith Myers. Okay, so she will be assisting us with the red or green flag scenarios. Harmony Perspective is getting Faith's perspective today as well, right? So we welcome Faith joining us today for this amazing, engaging, and very interesting segment, because we want to know, are we seeing some red flags thinking they're green flags, or are we not appreciating those green flags? Because we have to look at both of them. So how are you feeling today, Faith?
Awesome. I am in the spirit of love and sharing that with others. And I've been sharing it today with my nieces and nephews. And it was just awesome to see them be excited and happy as we share in that kind of love today.
Very beautiful. We're sharing. Well, I gave my sister a Valentine. I didn't get a response that I wanted, Gloria, but that's fine. I'm going to call your name out. But I gave my little ones, my son and my niece, their Valentine gift this morning. Of course, my son tackled what was edible first. And it was all about sharing that love, feeling love. And you know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's just one day out of the year. But I believe it's a day to make special acknowledgement to that love. Of course, we show love. The way she talks about her nieces and nephew. Sorry. She's always sharing love, but she makes an extra effort on a special day. Very good. Ready for it?
Yes, let's get into it.
So, scenario number one. He wants to see you at 10 p.m. at night, but he never takes you to get fried chicken or a walk in the park in the daylight. Red flag or green flag?
Same as I hear 10 p.m. That's a no-no for me. I honestly, I don't like going out late at night. By 10 p.m. is the latest I would want to be going home. So that's a no-no. I don't think you should be going outside after 10, especially if it's for someone that you're in a relationship with. If you're considering that person your partner and you want to plan and do and go like have a future with them, I think you should be conscious of those kinds of the time when you're spending with them, like, and especially when, because even if nothing happens, that doesn't send the right message, and that opens a door that you don't want to be opened, especially early on in your relationship. There's a time and place for everything, and the time and place to hang out with someone you're dating is not after 10 p.m.
And very good. We are not even touching the aspect yet that you're not being able to. You don't want to be seen in the daytime with me, and just the choice of time without even looking at the other part. Just the choice of only wanting to see somebody at 10 p.m. at night, and everybody knows me. Know I have a bedtime alarm. And it doesn't matter where I'm at. The alarm goes off 20 minutes before bedtime. And trust me, it's long before that 10 o'clock. And so I would already be asleep. And people are going to say, well, emergency. I'm not 911. And I'm not a doctor. So I recommend you call 911 and get the correct help.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's time that emergency happens. So I do leave my phone on, especially if my mom is not at home, because she does sometimes go and spend time with friends. And so I keep it on in case of emergency, of course. But the choices that we make in terms of reaching out to that significant other is very important. And why are you not going to take this one to fried chicken? See it? You know? It doesn't want fried chicken, by the way.
I don't want fried chicken. That's a side note, but it's not necessarily about the thing. Because if it were me, you wouldn't invite me out to fried chicken. I just want a cookie and brownies.
Yeah.
I'm a sweet person, but it's a simple activity. If you're just trying to have some kind of quality time with this person, if you actually want the quality time, you can make the time earlier.
Yeah.
So it's not way at 10 p.m. Oh yes, I remember. Mecca go talk to you.
Okay.
Don't do
Yes.
that.
Because it shows where I am in terms of priority on your list, because it shows that I'm not up there if the only time you have to see me is 10 at night. And I get that people get busy because I'm very busy myself, but trust me, no one is never that busy. No one. Like, it's never, ever, ever that serious, right? So we're going to definitely rate this one.
A red flag.
All
This is a red
right.
flag.
So this for me is a massive red flag, because that's not a date. That's a convenience. Because it's when I am convenient for you, and if he does not respect you in the daytime, he won't respect your boundaries in the dark. Right? So we're definitely gonna rate that one a red flag. So, ladies and gentlemen, because if she's only available for you during the nighttime, she might be hiding you from something or someone. And as Faith said, it's not even about what we're gonna do, because it mentioned a walk in the park, which is free, and
Fine.
it's an activity. It's a time you want to spend with me. Going to get a cookie, ice cream. I hope hoping I get some ice cream later. Right? And just enjoying a cup of ice cream with each other, having conversation. At nighttime, how active can I be? If I'm already,
Yeah.
I will be sleeping. I don't know about her
Yeah.
generation, but my generation is asleep at that time.
That's so funny. I I probably want me asleep, but I'm in bed.
Yeah.
I'm not getting up to do anything that's rest or like preparation for sleep. Like at 9, I start prayer and Bible study. You'd have ruined my prayer and Bible study
Yeah.
time if you come try to talk to me then. And I want to prioritize my time with the Lord.
Yeah.
And so even so, just understanding other people's schedules and see
Mhm.
how you can work with each other. That's something else. Because 10 is not an easy thing to
No,
work into anyone's
definitely
schedule.
not. Definitely not.
So,
And again, it's priority. All right. We rate that one red flag. Remember, let us know what you think. Remember, there's a QR code. You can participate online, or you could just let us know in the comment section. Is that a red flag or a green flag for you? All right, we're moving on to scenario two. 1 minute. So we're looking at the different. Yes, I have it here. Good. So scenario two, she asked you about your relationship with your mother and what are your goals for the next 2 years. So what do you think about the situation here?
I like this one because it's forward thinking. And I like thinking ahead, thinking about, your next steps. And 2 years isn't too far. So, like, it's not even, oh, big, big, big goals. It's like, okay, you're conscious of your day to day time. And I think this is a green flag because they're trying to understand who you are as a person. They're just trying to find out what that kind of relationship is. And oftentimes people ask this because they think if you treat your mom well, then you'll treat me
Yes.
well. And
What
that's,
kind of relationship do you have with your mother?
yeah, so that's the kind of thinking they're trying to get on. And I think that that's good. I think you should care about how they're treating their parents because that would be a reflection.
And
That would be a good reflection.
honestly, because even like little kids, you try when they give trouble at school, you gauge them and you tell them you did that to that little girl. How would you feel if someone did that to your mother? Because you relate that first love with
Yeah.
that mother, and if you love your mom and like expected that you love your mother. So if you love your mother and this is how you go about treating your mother, then how you're going to treat me, right?
Yeah.
So it's a reflection of how you're going to treat me. So if she's asking those kind of questions, it's obvious that she's preparing to have something more with you because
Yeah.
she's trying to see how you are going to treat her and looking forward to that 2 year goal. Because why they don't mention your name in that 2 year goal here?
Well, I think it depends on where we're at, but you know, I think it would be nice if when we mention it and we ask about it, they would be like, "This is my plan now, but if we continue and we're, successful,
Uh-huh.
then maybe things change."
Which
Or
shows he's
I add,
considering you in the
yeah,
future plan. And even in general, if my response is that 2 years from now, I see myself getting serious in a relationship. Then you know mentally where this
yeah,
person is at. Because then it's, I don't know where I'm doing 2 years. I don't know that they're far would think about that. You know, it's someone that's not planning for the future and you want someone where what your
yeah,
goals are for the future and their goals should be aligned. Maybe now I'm at
yeah,
a serious point in my life where I'm working toward bettering my future, bettering my relationship with God, and you want someone on that road with you as well. So knowing what their goals necessarily have to mean that they're involving you, it would be great. You're considering me.
yeah,
But if that person just goes aligned with yours and you know it's somebody you can move forward with, very good.
yeah,
Right? So for this section, we're definitely going to say it.
This is a green flag.
Yes.
And in this question, I would, if they have sisters or siblings, I would even ask that too. Just to make sure, that this thing, you're treating them well, that they're being taken care of properly.
All right. So
But
we
yeah.
continue for this section. I would say definitely that's green flag energy. And that's because she's looking for a partner, not just somebody to post on social media and Instagram and say, hey, I got a boo. Because,
Mhm.
we need to
Sometimes.
stop ignoring those red flags and say, oh, it just don't think about it yet. And just because a person speaks nice to you or have a nice ride, we're just looking at the outside. We want to look in, right? Scenario number 3, the forever talking stage, and I'm already laughing, right? It says you've been talking every day for 6 months. You go out to eat, you text good morning, good night, but when you ask, what are we? He says, let's just flow and see where God leads us. Is he waiting on the Lord? Or is he wasting your time? Red flag
That's so funny.
or green flag. So why is it funny for you?
Because I want to run. Because, like, that sounds like a waste of time. Because you need to know where you're at. They're not like you just jump from talk to married. And you have to, it's
Go through
like,
stages.
yeah, it's like you have to go through the stages. And, like, if you're in a real relationship, then you meet, like, their friends, you meet their parents,
Mhm.
you see how that bond works. And if you're just talking, none of that is happening. And so you're not growing in any way. And that is like, if you're trying to trust in this and hope for this, and you have marriage in mind, like you have marriage in mind, you have furtherance of this relationship in mind, and the other person doesn't, then you're limiting yourself, and then you might miss
Mhm.
a real
Uh huh.
opportunity for
Mhm.
someone
You're
else
blocking your blessings.
that might actually be able to openly express themselves and be like, yes, of course we're in a relationship. Yes, we're gonna get engaged soon, hopefully. Yes, I want to meet your parents. Yes, let's get married. Like people
And
that
as
are
you
actually having
rightfully said,
real
because
plans.
it's not talk married.
Yeah.
Because we must start talk courtship, then we start dating, then I'm your girlfriend, then I meet your friends and family, and then we discuss certain things about building a future, and then eventually we reach at marriage, but it's not talk and marriage.
Yeah.
So if you are not saying that I'm in a relationship with you, and what are we doing? Where are we going?
Yeah.
And then 3, 4 years pass by because you're laughing at 6 months. But reality is that 3, 4 years does pass by because I've known of situation where so many years has passed and what are we? And they're quick to say why you're in a rush to put a label on it.
But that long, and you know, like, cause in my head it's like, okay, date, meet family, everything,
Mm-hmm.
get married, start a family, and I don't want to start no family when I do dead. And so you have, like, the time does matter. You can't just waste the time, especially if they're not serious. Like if they're serious and you they say, okay, right now, like I know of this one time, like there are this people that they're like, okay, let's talk, let's see how this goes. But I just want you to know that I'm going to school and all of these things, and these
Mm-hmm.
are my priorities at the moment. And if this is blossoming, then we get married. That's fine. We could date and we could meet each
All
other,
right.
family,
So
everything.
you put that. So there's even a timeline to that because
Exactly. There's
I
still
said that I
time.
am going to school. So of course I have to reach that hurdle that I can really invest in you and give you the time and really
Yeah,
build a relationship with you. So that's understandable. But even in that case, there's a timeline.
exactly.
And a lot of
Because
time we're saying we're
you know
waiting
when
for
we're
God to
finished.
give us a sign, but we're not even in the church to hear how God is going to give us that sign, right? So don't be using God as an excuse.
Yeah. And even so, you're still conscious of the timeline and you're
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you know that you're not just wasting the other person's time. Like I have this in mind. I do want to get married. I do want to find someone I can get married to. It's just that in this time, this is where I'm at. But if you're willing, then we could start talking now and then it's just like a longer engagement period or something.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And I honestly feel like people, like you should know, like most people know, like you know when you
Mhm.
want to meet somebody, or you know that, all right, this is the person. And it goes both way, both male and female. Because there are some female that they know this is not the person for me. They know I'll never really love him. But because they don't want to be lonely, or because it looks pretty on the hype for the social media, they are
Yeah.
willing to stay with you until they find the person that they want. So they are just
And that's
hanging you
unfair.
along and stringing you along and wasting your time when you could have been building with somebody that genuinely wants to be with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, the part where we say we don't want to label it, you have to be open in your communication, because a lot of us start dating and we assume that we are in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's only one of you in that relationship. So the question has to be asked, because it might be that we're
Yeah.
dating and I find that you're not the person for me, but I'm having fun with you at the time. So, ladies, gentlemen, don't be afraid to ask. Ask the question, are we together? Are we in a relationship? What do you consider us? How far do you plan on taking? Ask whatever question you ask. Don't assume and don't keep wondering if you're in
Yeah.
a relationship, if he'll eventually decide that he wants a relationship. Because I think men more than women, they know when they want. Because I've seen situation where a man is with this lady 12 years and he never got married, and eventually they decide this is not for us, right?
Mhm.
He met somebody else, and within 1 year he was married. So
Oh,
I
see,
feel
like
like men know, like even females,
I
like
know that.
you know, but because it was easy, because it was convenient, because it was fun, they decide to stay along. So you have to ask those hard questions, and if he says that, why you're in a rush to put a label in it, how you ask him why not,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna label that one.
That's a red flag. That's a
Definitely a
red
red
flag.
flag. That's a high red flag.
Very
I
much.
would give it two red flags. So if he can't define that relationship, or she can't define that relationship, then he can't lead in the relationship. Clarity is kindness, so we're definitely gonna label that one a red flag. So we move to scenario 4, the social secret. She posts everything on her status, her food, her dog, her church outfit, but you've been dating for 3 months and there is zero evidence on her page about you. She says she likes her privacy. Is she private, or is she keeping her options open? Red flag or green flag?
This, this is another funny question to me because I am not a posting person, so I would be like, why you want I post you all of a sudden? But I think it's different if it's like a person that constantly does this and posts about everything all the time. Um, in this situation, though, for me, I would say just use wisdom in the situation
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes people might not post because they don't want to invite everybody opinions into their life or into their relationship. And I know that sometimes when these things are made known to everybody, they can bring about certain fears or certain worries that people might have just based on their own perspectives of their
Bring that negative
relationships,
energy
and they
in.
bring that worries to you, and you don't want to worry about everything all the time. And so maybe that's why. But it could be that they're just trying to hide you and keeping it a little secret because there's more than one. But I would say just use wisdom in these situations just to gauge that kind of person, maybe see where they're at, and decide then. Um, if you're in a relationship, one thing I would say is pray about everything. Because even if your partner isn't always open to share everything, maybe because of traumas,
Yeah.
um, God can give you some clarity on that. And you develop that relationship with them and Christ, and you learn more. You learn a lot about them just through prayer if you're both open to Christ with everything. And then Christ can let you know, okay, maybe not ask them about that too much. Maybe not put so much pressure on it because maybe it's indeed because of, something that
different social
hurt
media
them
or
or
trauma
so.
that they went through, right? And I also read a thing once that when we say to keep a relationship private, it doesn't mean you tell people you're single,
But
right?
yeah, that too.
You don't. It doesn't mean that you tell everybody that you're single. You're still committed to this person. So there should be a level where it's known that you have a partner. But when they say keep a relationship private, it means that when you have a problem, you don't post that problem on social media.
Yeah.
And you do, as Faith say, both of you turn to God at that time. You all pray together and you work on the problems that you're facing. So keeping your privacy, it doesn't mean that I don't exist. But again, I am not a social media person either, because my social media pages aren't even private. Because it's just like it's private because if you go up there, there's nothing to see, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even a privacy issue for me. It's just not my thing. I'm just not someone that wants to be posting all the time. Even my WhatsApp status that disappears after 24 hours. I know some people probably think I blocked them from seeing my status, but I genuinely don't post, right? So if I'm feeling something at the moment, I would then post. I was checking the online. And remember, please let us know online what you can let us know if you believe it's a red flag or a green flag. I see a lot of hearts and people viewing. Thank you guys for engaging with our show. And so we're I don't know how we want us to label this one.
It's like a caution. Caution warning.
So it can be a red flag because it could be that that person is genuinely trying to hide you and keep you a secret and have their options open. Or it could be that that person is not a social media person and they just don't like. But in this scenario, it said that she posts her food, she posts her outfit, she posts everything. So in that case, we would say it's a red flag. But again, you're going to use your discretion because it's not everything you keep a secret. And she might be protecting what she has because she wants it to work out. But it doesn't mean that to the world she's available.
Yeah, as long as she's not posting
Yes.
single girl things.
And single ladies and I am bored and single and that's different.
Yeah.
Right? So if she's not making herself available online and this is just who she is, she doesn't post a lot and she's securing her relationship, then that's totally different from someone that loves posting every single minute and she's always taking a lot of pictures and always posting and captioning and seeming available online, then that's definitely a red flag, right? Remember, engage with us. Let us know if you believe it's a red flag or a green flag. So Privacy is healthy, but secrecy is dangerous. If you are a secret, you aren't a priority. So we're gonna say yellow to a red flag
Yeah.
with that one, right? So again, it's the angle in which you view it. You have to use your discretion in every situation because all situations are different. It might be y'all gonna get married and she's genuinely not entertaining anybody else, right?
Yeah.
And it's just that
So just
that's just not me, but I'm all in, 10 toes in, right? Fit?
yeah.
No, fit. We move on to what we call the missionary dater. Have any
Mhm.
idea what that is? Okay, let me tell you, right?
Let's find out.
So he's a perfect guy. He has a great job, he has a nice car, and he treats you right. But he doesn't share your faith. He says, I don't mind going to church with you, Faith, but I'm open to learning. But can you build a house on two different foundations? Red flag or green flag?
See, this for me, again, I want to run,
Run.
but and
I think we should have had a steer or a
yeah,
run.
because
Faith
Faith
is
runs.
choosing
From,
run a lot. And I don't know if it's a
but
December thing, but normally if I say fight or flight, it's flight because I'm running, right?
yeah,
So you're going to say run. Why?
it's because as a Christian woman, I expect to have a husband that is able to lead me. And because I prioritize faith, I want them to lead me in faith. So if they're not of the faith at all, that's not even an option with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't be an option for me either. But while we were going over this, I did read um, in later in Corinthians in chapter 7, or is it first? Yeah, I think maybe it's first
All right.
Corinthians, not second. But they Paul was writing to them about marriage, and
Yes,
he said,
this one, it says that the person is willing to go to church.
yeah, because they're willing to go to church. That was a point I was like concerned about. And in that chapter, it talks about how if you're in the relationship and that person is willing to stay and stay with you in faith, then your faith might bring them to salvation.
Yeah.
So if they're going to church with you, if they're willing to go to church with you, then them constantly going, them constantly hearing the word, them constantly hearing the songs of our faith, maybe they come and turn to your side as well. And then both of you are of the same thing. But it
Yes.
also said,
Because this person is willing.
yeah,
We're speaking about someone that's willing.
yeah. And but it also said if they're not willing to continue in that way, to continue fellowshipping with you in your church, to continue going and attending with you, then you should let that person go. That person should go.
We were reading it together. It definitely said, let that person go their way. Because as a Christian, and I think we have shared that, and that's the purpose here at HarmonyMedia. It's not just saying that you're a Christian. It's not just going to church, but you're to spread God's word. And if your spouse is willing to attend a church service, maybe this is his way to his salvation. And at this point, if he's your spouse and you're considering, or even if you're considering marrying this person, then you're thinking about building, you love this person. It's not easy to then just say walk away from somebody that is showing potential. So not only you get a relationship, but you get a relation. You get to draw someone closer to God in that process, right? And so we are looking at even they say opposite attracts, but this is not one of the opposites.
Yeah.
And I even believe that when they say opposite attracts, there still has to be some similarity. So, for example, for the sports people, when they say opposite attract, they don't mean that you're a basketball fanatic and you're going to get somebody that hates basketball. Maybe you get somebody that loves basketball, but y'all just on different teams. but you have that love, you have that connection through the sports of
Yeah.
basketball. And I'm not going to speak to you personally because I love sports if my team is playing against yours. But we're going to have something to discuss, especially if my team wins, right? But it's the love of that sport that is going to draw you together. So in this case, because both of you guys are willing, well, you are
Yeah.
already on your walk with God, and He is willing to go on a walk. You're on the same page, and that's what we don't understand. When we say opposite attracts, it doesn't mean complete opposite, that you have a walk with God, and then that person is not going to have that walk with God, because then
Yeah.
your priorities are then different, because then you'll want different things in the relationship. And while I've made a commitment to God Sunday morning, I want to go to church. And because God is not your priority, you're not going to prioritize that for me, because you don't see the need, you don't have that love. But it's just like with the basketball game. Both of you love that football game. You're going to get ready for 2 o'clock to go to Marenjo's to watch that football game, right? Because your
Yeah.
priorities align, right?
And that's something you have to be conscious of, and something to be cautionary about is to not let that person lead you astray.
Yeah.
Because this question is very specific. It says
Yeah.
willing, and that means they're willing to go with you to church. And don't let that person be like, oh, well, I came to church with you last week. Make we go somewhere.
Yes,
And
because
miss
now it
church.
turns into a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I went to church. I know you got to do what I want, and then
Yeah.
that might then lead
And-
you astray from your walk with God.
So, in everything, be very conscious of those things. Because even though Solomon was wisest person of his time, he was led astray by his wives. So, just be conscious of that, and you have to remain grounded.
Yeah.
This leading to the other person to faith can only happen if you remain grounded. So, don't make compromises to draw yourself away from the Lord.
Yeah, so even if you do decide that I'm going to stick this rule, like the Bible said, you know, you continue, but you have to understand what your purpose then. Because now it's your salvation and his salvation on the line. Because he could easily lead you astray if that's the case. And you know, this also reverse it. When we were reading it, he also said for the husband, if his wife,
Yeah.
and
was
it
both
says
sides.
that then you stay, but if your wife then decide that that's not what she wants, then you leave. So it goes both for male and female, that if you're in a relationship and you both don't have that, you're not both not on the same walk with God, then yes, you give it a try. At this point, you love this person. Why not help that person with salvation? I mean, even if you don't in love with somebody as a Christian, you should want salvation. And if that person is willing, the Bible says stay.
Yeah.
But if that person is not willing, then
That's run.
it's not red flag, green flag anymore. It's run or stay, right?
Yeah.
And on this, from the biblical perspective, that's how it started in First Corinthians. But 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. It isn't a suggestion here. It tells you that do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? We just spoke about having something in common. And
Yeah.
wickedness and righteousness have
No
nothing in common.
There's
right?
no willingness there.
And it says, or what fellowship can light have in darkness? If there is light, then that's not darkness. And if there's pure darkness, then there's no light. Right? So you can't marry potential. You have to marry reality.
Yeah.
So we are going to say that the Bible does tell you to stick and try, but it becomes a red flag if that person is not willing to take that walk with you. So then that's definitely a red flag. Or in faith words, run. So that takes us to the password protectorate. We're in this digital ages, the phone, the post, the social media. And I don't know a soul that does not have their phone locked. So here's the scenario. You're sitting at dinner, his phone buzzes, and he flips it down immediately. Now you ask, who is it? And he says, why? You don't trust me then, Faith? You need to check my phone to believe me. Like, I have to open my phone for you to believe me. So is this setting boundaries in your relationship, Faith, or hiding something? Red flag or green flag? All flags. All flags. I don't know. Are we running? Are we flagging? No.
This one, I honestly don't like any of the responses to the question. Because
so there's so many different layers here.
Yes, because why are you asking?
Yes.
Why is that such a concern?
Mm-hmm.
For me, if you did that, I would have been fine, because that means you're prioritizing whatever conversation we're having or the time we're spending together.
Mm-hmm.
So turning your phone down is fine. The response to the turning the phone down of why you're doing that, red flag. The response they gave was bad too, because like, why would you say, like, why don't you trust me or whatever? Of like, that was not the question asked. You didn't respond at all. So you saying, but don't you trust me, already turns that back into a red flag for me, and I don't like that response.
There's so much layers you watch it at, because from flipping the phone down for you is a mistrust. But for me, it's you prioritizing me. So looking at that little piece, that's something that I even do with my son or my niece when they come and talk to me, no matter what. And I think I shared this last. I click that phone and I give them my attention, because it shows that you're giving that person your attention, right? And then we look at the other part. I feel like, what's the term? Gaslighting me?
Yeah. Look, gaslight. I didn't even ask nothing that serious yet.
Yes. How did you drop at you don't trust me?
Exactly. You can't do that. And I think if the situation was just, turn the phone down and nothing else happened, that would have been a green flag. That would have been nice, because I like when people give me attention. Like, when I'm talking to people, I also turn down my phone. I'm pretty sure I've done that during conversation. And none of my friends not ask me who I had to try hide funding or whatever. So that's not what's happening. Mm-hmm. But that just means you have a lot of toxic mentality.
Yes.
And I don't want
toxic
mentality.
Because immediately you decided the negative. Like, you went to the negative. And a lot of time, like, the phone call drops. Oh, another girl called you. No, like, a lot of time we quickly jump to something negative when something happens that we never, it's like, I think there's this meme a long time ago. The worst thing a man can do in a relationship is fall asleep. Because he'll wake up to 72 messages and 20 missed call and keep her, continue spending time with her. Why is it that your first reaction is something negative?
Yeah, and not even out of concern. Because what you not assume that, what if it did an important doctor's appointment, I just can't up on the phone because I talk to the doctor, or something else. Like, maybe the dentist.
First assumption is that he's doing something bad. So why are you even in this relationship if that's the first thing that you think?
Yes, show some concern.
So we might be flagging you at the time, right? And it's not even you in the scenario that we're analyzing, right? And so that person, now the response is, why you don't trust me? Immediate gaslighting. Immediate gaslighting, because I think as a man, it could be that you could just give that person a reassurance. No faith.
It's just my mom. You know, like, nothing serious.
Yes.
It doesn't be something serious.
No faith. It's not important, and we're spending quality time together. I'm not giving you an excuse if you're really cheating because you know who is messaging you, but reassurance in a relationship, it will help her with her trust issues that she may have. And a lot of time, you bring baggage from another relationship into your new relationship, which is not fair, but we're human and we do it. right? So you bring that baggage from that old relationship and you bring it into your new relationship. And as your partner, as your spouse, then I don't find anything wrong, even as a female. Maybe you're a female your ex cheating on you, and now you came with all these insecurity. You want me to send you my location when I'm hanging out with my friends, because you know when your ex used to say friends, it used to be somebody else you were seeing, right? So
Yeah.
we want to have that little reassurance. You don't gaslight the person into thinking that they're doing something wrong, in just asking a question. So, red flag for him. We are all flags for this one, right? And
Yeah.
what do you think about checking phones?
Hmm.
I personally, I
I
don't
don't
see
think.
the need for me to go in your phone. So I don't see the need for you to go in my phone. My phone is not only my privacy,
Yeah.
but it's my best friend privacy as well. Because you don't need to know what my best friend tells me,
Yeah.
but it's my personal space.
Sometimes, like, I think that's funny because just the other day I asked my nephew to see his phone, but like, because I would think I might hear something strange, and I checked it, it was fine, but I just wanted to ensure because I'm teaching them,
Mhm.
so I think that's fair, and I think in a relationship that might be weird to do.
Well, so it's
So,
okay for you to check your nephew's phone, but in a relationship,
yeah,
you don't check phone.
no, because I think at that stage, it's a different level of trust you're
Mhm.
supposed to have. Mentioned the part that I'm teaching my nephew, right? Because certain things sometimes might seem normal to them
Mhm.
because it's just common things online.
Yes.
And so I want
And they're
to,
seeing it often, so that might be
yeah, so
normal.
I want to, help them navigate online things
And learn.
and learn. But if I need to look in your phone, see something, and like the search to try find
Yeah.
something, I don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. I think
If
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 I
I
have
already
to
have
do
the
that,
need, like if
yeah.
I feel that I need to go
If
in
I
your
don't
phone,
feel strange, I
then
don't think I
some
need to look in
you
your
had skipped
phone.
some other red flag that has you feeling that way.
Exactly.
Because they had to have a red flag that feel that you need to go into this person's phone. And
Yeah.
majority of the time, and again, me and my memes, but majority of the time, then you go in there, you find something you don't like, then you're the one crying. And then
Yeah.
there's this mean meme that says that you went in the phone, no, lock yourself in the bathroom and cry alone because I was peacefully asleep, right? Because you went and looked for it. But one day should not find anything in the phone. But if you did find something and you felt that need to go look in your phone, then
Mhm.
there was a red flag before that, because personally in a relationship,
Yeah.
I don't think I should need to go into your phone, and I don't think you need to go into my phone. As
'Cause-
well, there's nothing in there to find, first of all. And you shouldn't be feeling that mistrust from me, because
yeah.
then you're
I
thinking
think
that there is something to find.
I think it starts from before you need to go into the phone. Because
Yes,
if you just accidentally pick up their phone and then the rush to go get it out of your hands or whatever,
then
then that's
a
the
sign
first
you
thing.
start
That's the
building a
first thing.
mistrust.
So you never need to go into the phone.
No, you
don't
want
have a
to go in the
concern.
phone.
Exactly. That's supposed to be done red flag, and you from done catch it from then. But so I think if there's ever like I ever want looking at somebody's phone for like try find something and see if anything go
Yeah.
on, I will just stop.
Yes, and I don't want to be policing my spouse.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be sending your location. I don't want that if you go out, I can't sleep as I
Mhm.
need to sleep. I'm very cranky if I don't sleep. So I don't want to be in a position where I have to be guarded with you, because I shouldn't be
Yeah.
guarded. And then we go back to the image that we showed in the beginning, where it says the height versus the heart. And we are going to discuss later on more what that image means and what boundaries really are, because it
Mhm.
shouldn't be that I am so guarded that I can't even feel your presence or your love. That shouldn't be the case. And if you feel the need to question every behavior that he has, if you feel the need to question everything that he pours, because
Yeah.
I know of situation that as they post, it could be something that they just found funny and they decide to post it. It doesn't mean that they are relating to it. But then she would think that that's about her, and then there's a deeper issue than the post. There's a deeper issue than
Yeah.
turning down the phone. There's a deeper issue on questioning me who messaged me. It is definitely more than that. So you have red flags before the situation came about, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to say for this one that trust is earned and it's not demanded, right? Defensive behavior is usually a sign of guilt. So because of his reaction, we are going to label this red flag, and because of her view on it,
Yeah.
we're gonna add an extra red flag on this one's face, and we're gonna give her one, right? Now there's a community, her community that checks in with her, right? And so you really like this person. So it's a male in this situation. So he really likes this person. And he has a small group of leaders, and you, your circle keeps telling you, I don't know about her, something about her does not sit well with me. But you don't see it. So is love really blind, or is your community against you? Red flag, blue flag, everybody telling you it.
Say, since you bring up memes, I want to bring up this
All
one.
right.
Like, one time I saw this video online
Mhm.
of this girl to show off that she just get engaged. So she just get engaged, so she show all of her friends this ring. She called all of them to show them the ring from her hand. And all of them make up their face. Every single one. And the first one, after the first one, I was like, but why there to be some mean towards a good thing? But
Like
then
they should be happy for her.
yeah, but all of the friends did it. So I know there's something wrong with the partner. And if everybody but you can see it, love does blind you sometimes. So you have to be conscious of that and listen to your community. Even if it might not make any sense to you, if you not see it yet. But if you listen to them, take their advice and leave, afterwards you'll catch it and be like, oh.
Because no, you are seeing it from outside.
Yeah.
And all the while they're giving their view from seeing it outside, because you, a lot of time in relationship, they're going to do 10 bad things to you. And then they come and they do one good thing, and then you get caught up in that one moment, and then you are rushed with all this love, right?
Yeah.
And so you then start feeling, oh, he really does love me. But your friends are still seeing the 10 bad things. They are seeing all the crying. They are seeing the pain. They are seeing the struggle. They are seeing everything that you are trying to avoid because you are just living in that one good moment.
Yeah.
And it can go both ways as well, because I can see some people genuinely not being happy for you. So you have to check
that's true.
who is your community is checking you, but you have to check
The community,
the community,
as well.
right? So
Like,
who is the
just-
community in this case?
Yeah, that you can't just listen to anybody, because some people just might have bad intentions, and you have to be sure of those people that genuinely love you and genuinely want the best for you and have your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
Like, if like your friend will you say sometimes when I know you that good and barely know that you can't eat cheese because you lactose intolerant, why you trust their opinion more than your friends that are with you every day, your mom that knows you from your bond? You have to be conscious of who you're listening to as well. So not just pick anybody to listen to, but pick those that you know, you're very sure that even if the boy left, they're going to be there. They're going to be there with you, helping you all the time. And they just really want to see the best for you.
Yeah, and it's, if it's coming from the people that genuinely love you, you listen to them because they have your best interest at heart, and you, like I said, you might be caught up in that one beautiful action, that one beautiful thing that he did for you, but they are seeing the whole picture. They are seeing everything, right?
Yeah.
And so you need to pay attention. You need to listen to the people around you. They are the people that do love you and they care about you. And you also have to be cautious of outsiders that are just
Yeah.
trying to destroy what you have going on, right? So you have to listen. You have to listen to your community because your community loves you. And sometimes we're in a situation, maybe we're just trying, you are just trying to make the relationship work, but it's hurting you more than helping you. So we have to look at every
Yeah.
little aspect of it. And it's hard, because you're feeling all this love, you're feeling all the emotions, you're all have
Yeah.
that butterflies in the stomach feeling, and you genuinely want the relationship to work because nobody goes into a relationship
The hope it ends.
they hope it end and having and sometimes it's the thought of starting over.
That, it must feel too pressure, like too much pressure.
But I feel like society pressures you to be in a relationship because why, like, after you haven't seen a person in a long while, like, one of the first thing that they're going to
That
ask
they'll
is,
get married
you
too.
don't get married? How you not get married yet?
I
That's
know,
the
I
first
understand.
thing that they go and they ask you, and then
Yeah.
go back to the hype versus the heart. Like everybody in, like you get that social media pressure because everybody is getting engaged. You weren't sharing that
Yeah.
somebody got married today.
Oh yes, but you see, I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy for them. I'm see it, and I'm so cute, and I'm excited for them, and I like even cry because of how beautiful the wedding may look, and sometimes they have people who just not have that same sentiment and would look at that and grumble and
How does she get married? Huh? How she married he? Like
yeah.
it's automatically a negative response.
And so you just have to be conscious of all of these things while you're navigating your relationship. Because there's people that will be happy for you, there's people that will be like, oh, yes, that's a blessing. And then there's people that will be like, how do I get married and all of that. But you always have to choose what side you're on. And
Yeah.
even in this case, if you're on the outside of the relationship, question what side you're on. Are you genuinely trying to just be protecting your friend, or are you jealous of them?
Yeah,
So question yourself, because
definitely.
don't be a red flag.
Don't become a red flag in somebody else's relationship at all, right? And don't feel don't stay trapped in a relationship while your community is trying to help you get out because you feel pressure by society or you don't want you're scared of being alone, and that takes you back to the Bible itself and knowing God, because if you know God's love, no,
Then you
nothing.
won't feel
Yes,
alone.
you will never feel alone. You'll never feel. So search for the correct love first.
Yeah.
Search for God
Love
love.
Jesus.
Yes, love Jesus. Then you love yourself. Then you're able, like I.
To know what kind of love you deserve.
Yes, because then I was sharing that my dad used to treat me like a queen, but he treated me
good.
so good that I expect that anybody that comes in my life treats me as good.
Yes, and that's exactly like you already have a standard, and
Yes.
if your standard that the way how God loves,
Uh-huh.
that even higher, and
Yes.
even better,
And,
and it's totally possible
Mhm.
because people can just genuinely love, and so don't think, oh, I have to settle. Don't think you have to settle for mediocre love, sometimes love of convenience.
Mhm.
Know that there's people out there that are genuine and will love you wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
So you have to, sometimes you just have to wait. fine now, and it might take a little while.
Yeah.
But I think that's better than staying in a relationship.
That you're not happy, that you're
Yeah.
constantly, and we think abuse is just physical, but there is
Yeah.
emotional abuse. And if this person keep doing so many hurtful things to you, that's emotional abuse. And like, if you punch me in my eye, it's gonna heal up eventually. The scar will go, the bruise will go. I'll ice it. I have medication to heal that physical pain.
Yeah.
But how do you heal somebody hurting you emotionally, like bringing
Yeah.
you down to your lowest point that you can't even get out of bed, right? And so this
That's
opens
something.
a lot when it comes to relationship. And
Yeah.
I'll say that you have to love God first, and you have to feel God's love, and you'll know how to be treated in a relationship. That
Yeah.
your community doesn't even have to check in with you,
And
because
comfortable.
you would have seen it long before your community said it to you,
Yeah.
right?
And something else, like your community might see it from the first time. Like, because Ms. Avila said, it might happen 10, like they do 10 bad things,
Mm-hmm.
and then they do one good thing. And if your community has seen from the first time, you might be like, oh, wait, it only happened once.
Yeah.
But it leads to those 10 times. It
Mm-hmm.
leads to happening again and again if
Mm-hmm.
you don't set those boundaries
Yeah.
and you just leave them and
Allow
allow them
them.
to keep hurting you in that way. So listen to your community well.
And if everybody is saying the same thing, it can't be that 10 of us are wrong and you want to right. Right? The odds of that happening is very high. So it's that same community that will help you get out. And we are going to say for this one. This one took us a little road,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it opened itself to a lot that's going on, because
Mhm.
sometimes these red flags, just like the previous one, it's not just that situation that's a red flag.
Yeah.
There were red flags before this. This was a big red flag, right? But there were a lot of little flags that led you to that big red flag. And even when we turn to the Bible, Proverbs says that there is safety in a multitude of counselors. So if everyone who loves you is seeing a warning, then pay attention, because the 10 counselors in your circle all have the red flag up for you, right?
Yeah.
And so we pay attention, and we're definitely going to flag this one red flag.
Yeah.
Faith didn't say run this time.
Yeah. I'm trying not to say run.
But this one was definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
I would say run. Then
It was
people
very
there
red.
to
It was very
yeah,
red.
this was very run, right? Now we move to scenario 8. The broke boundary. They're looking at finances time, right? So you're on a first date. The bill comes. He looks at it, and I even got pocket. I said, boy, I forget my wallet in my next pants.
Mm.
Can you get this one? I'll get the other one for you. Just cover me for this one. So, do you think that's an honest mistake, or bad planning, or bad sign? What would you say?
For this, I would say it's just a first date. It's just
Mhm.
a first date. You don't know them that well yet, so maybe it's not a red flag. But I would say pay close attention to what happens after. If this person is genuine and they were like, oh goodness, I actually forget,
Yeah.
then they would be like,
Maybe he was so excited to go on
yeah,
a
so
date.
you just say, rush out, hurry, get to your house, whatever, pick you up and carry you. But like, how does he respond after? Does he be like, say, okay, if you like swipe or whatever, I could transfer you the money, or I could pay you back afterwards. Like I would like carry you to my house before drop you off or whatever, and
Get
pay
the
you back,
money and pay you.
or say, maybe tomorrow or something we meet again and I get the bill or whatever. And, like, just how does he respond? Is this a genuine mistake? Because if it's a genuine mistake, they'll act like it. You'll be able to tell that it's a genuine mistake.
Yeah.
But if they just never want to do that and they just want to waste your time or whatever, then you'll know that as well. So
and it does happen because like the other day we were in Belize and we ordered some sub and the person paying didn't went into his wallet, being a gentleman paying for everybody food and no wallet, no card. And this is someone that never has cash on him. So it's either card or nothing, and I'm pretty sure brothers didn't want a transfer. And so I had cash on me, of course. So I paid for it, and his immediate response, no worry, as a kitty that the vehicle, I will transfer it to you, right? But it was that again reassurance that he's showing that immediately after I'm planning to pay for you. But what happens when it happens 3-4 times? I'm reaching out to you.
Yeah, and you still not do nothing. Like
at this point, it's a habit.
Yeah, you can't be. If it's a habit, that's run.
So let me poke a little hole here. So are we saying that we shouldn't date a man if he's broke?
See, when presented this, I think it's not necessarily worth isn't defined by money, because what I said earlier was if I genuinely want to be with this person, I don't mind pay. Like I wouldn't mind. And if there's somebody who I don't want to give none of my time to, even if they're to pay for I go to France or to Dubai, I don't want to go in there anyways, so it doesn't matter. But it's just if their intention and the quality of person you're getting, because just because they don't have nothing right now means they have nothing forever. If they're a goal-focused person, and they have ambition, then you'll be able to build with each other. If you guys start off and you're taking the lead in that way in finances, and maybe if you're like end up getting married and you like finance, maybe starting a business, if he's a good steward of those finances, then you'll get returns and you'll be able to like not pay you back, but to take that leadership in that way and fund things, and it not be a problem.
But do you realize that this goes back to one of the first scenarios that we said, with the one where we were saying like putting labels on the relationship and what are we? You mentioned that it might be that I'm going back to school. So if it's a case where this person is just trying to build and is not financially stable, and you have to be open about that though, because then again I do have a timeline that it's someone that I can build with, because then you are working towards something, and I don't mind holding it down personally as a personal choice of mine. Like I don't mind holding down, and I don't like Faith. If I have the money to pay for a dinner for us to go out and have a good time and enjoy each other company and get to know each other better, like I do not have a problem with that. But I am not going to build a life with someone that is not trying to do better for themselves. So if you're going back, if you just started a business, if you're building your home from foundation, and I'm able to help, because this is somebody that I'm considering building a life with, and of course, no, this is the thing, because if you did not label me your girlfriend, I ain't helping you build anything. I am so sorry, but yes,
I can't build anything without no label.
You can't build without a label, because then how do you expect me to then push my all into this relationship, and I don't even know if you want to be with me?
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing, like if there's clear intent, then that's totally fine.
That financial part, it's just something, and I have a friend that he started a business, right? And like he keep insisting that he doesn't want to be in a relationship because he is focused on his business, and I totally get that, right? But I used to
Mm-hmm.
always tell him, if you find somebody that is going to ride this journey with you when you have nothing, you are sure that that person genuinely loves you. Because if she is willing
Yeah.
to stick with you when you had nothing, when you have everything, you are not sure of what that person's intent is. When they come around only when you have everything put
Yeah.
together, then what is that person's intention? And that person might know you when you had nothing and was never interested in you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of men, that financial part goes both ways, because a lot of females are going to say that they don't want somebody that is broke.
Mm-hmm.
But in some cases, it's just because some females just want financial gain from men. But there are cases where I don't want to pour into somebody that's not pouring, even pouring into themselves,
Yeah.
right? So why would I give you everything and you don't even want to do better for yourself? And then there's the reverse, with a man has to be concerned that if she only wants me because of the car I'm driving, if she only wants me because she needs somebody to pay her nails, I pay my own nails. Right? So, man have that question as well when it
Yeah.
comes to this whole financial
Yeah. And that's
side.
the thing. That's the hype people post on internet,
Yes, that's the
online
hype.
about how,
You see
oh,
why we're
everybody
talking about the
pay
hype and the heart?
for everything for me. But is that really the only goal you have, to
Mm-hmm.
find someone that can pay for everything for
Yeah,
you?
and we can go on with this, right? But I'm gonna end with this. A
Mm-hmm.
person. I said I don't need a man. I don't need a man, but if I'm in a relationship, I want him. And he's like, you would hurt the man ego if you say that. But would you want me to be with you just because I need you to pay my bills?
Yeah, that,
Or do you want me because I genuinely want to be in your presence? Like, I genuinely love your company and
yeah.
I genuinely love who you are. So there's a difference, because I don't need a man, because I'm going to work 2, 3 jobs and pay my bill, right? So with this one, we are going to say yellow to red flag. Because it can be a red flag, ladies, and as Faith said, we will have to gauge the situation, see what his response is. I forget my
Mm-hmm.
wallet. I'm gonna transfer it to you. I will stop by my home and give you cash. I will drop it at your home tomorrow. When I see you this weekend, I'll return the funds for you. It's all about how he
Yeah.
responds after. Now, if it's a genuine thing, then definitely red flag it all the way. It's not somebody you can build on, right? And it can genuinely just be an accident, but a man who plans a date, I think he should pay for it.
Yeah.
And if not, have a discussion and let her know that, this is not, I want us to pay together, right? So have that discussion before men if that is what you want, and if she agrees with it, then she might be the one for you. If not, we move on. Now, talking about disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking at the reaction of a disagreement. So you
Mm-hmm.
have a disagreement, and instead of ghosting you or yelling, he said, Fit, you're doing too much right now. I need a minute to cool down. So I don't say something I regret. Can we talk about this in an hour or two? So is walking away rude, or is it mature?
I think that's a sign of spiritual maturity, because even the Bible tells you don't rush to say things out of anger, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't take those words back. So
Yeah.
if they're making that conscious effort to communicate that with you, I would want to give them that space to be like, okay, let's let's calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have our space, and let's come back to this when we're not so mad. Because when
Yeah.
things fresh, the problem just happen, you get vexed fast, and
Yeah.
if you just step aside, you could be like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. Or even if it is that bad, you start thinking about solutions and you can come with a new perspective to the situation after you have that break.
And you know, I'm laughing because I've been in this situation numerous times because they're going to say I love to argue, right? And I love being right. But if I'm right, I'm right. Just putting that out there. But I am a person that I need to talk it out. Space does not help me because space means that you're giving me the opportunity to talk to myself. Right?
And when you and yourself discuss.
When me and myself have a discussion, I'm definitely going to take my side and I'm going to go with what I tell myself because I believe I'm smart enough to decide who is right or wrong. But if I'm talking to myself, I am taking my side because I'm not taking somebody else's side in my head. Right? So space doesn't work with me. But I've learned that that is how I deal with a situation. So there was a very important virtue that I had to learn, which was patience. I had to learn that talking works for me, but talking doesn't work for the other person. If the person is at 10 to have a level conversation, I need to go back down to a 1. So I have to leave. And you know, it's so funny because my mother would tell you the worst thing about me is my mouth. Because I don't know how to shut up. I don't know how to admit that I'm wrong. And when I start talking, I just go off and off and off. Right? And I'm going to be brutally honest. And that's not nice. Because being brutally honest does not mean that you're nice. Just because it's the truth, it doesn't mean that you're to throw it in my face.
Yeah, because you could do that with kindness.
Yes, and if you're in anger, the truth won't come out with kindness.
Yeah. Right?
And so I had to learn how to patience. The thing is, when I sit and listen, then I hear your perspective, and I think you're more wrong. Anyway, we're not going to debate that. So I'll say that for those of you who do not like the silence, use it as a time to learn patience. And reflect on the situation.
Something I would say is that sometimes when I'm left with my own thoughts, it's not me and myself, it's me, myself, and the I am. And the I am is God, and the I am is God. And so if you just invite God into it, you can get calm. And that's what we're saying here.
Talking to Dina, because speaking from experience, it never works.
So invite the I am. And that's something I always say about myself, even when regular things, about every situation, it's never just you and yourself. It's you, yourself, and the I am. And sometimes even yourself needs to not be in the conversation.
Definitely agree there. So sometimes it's just the I am that I had to learn too.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're left with yourself, you're ready to fight, but it's not always about winning in these situations. It's something about learning
and
about each other.
Then you get caught up in the fight that you forgot what the problem was.
Exactly.
Right? And sometimes he may be wrong, you may be wrong, but because you decided to solve it with anger and argument, then you'll forever be having these issues because so
no
this definitely, we're going to call this one a green flag if the person is deciding to walk away, to cool down, and then come back to have a conversation, right? So, thanks. So, we hear that someone in the comment section say red flag. So, see, I was the red flag in that situation. You have to learn a little patience. No, if the person walks away and never wants to have a discussion about it.
Because that's bad. That's bad.
put up 15 red flags in the comment because we have to resolve our problems. There's nowhere we can sweep it under the rug. And so for me, I believe that this is emotional maturity. And so this is where the person learns self-control. And you know the Bible actually speaks in Galatians chapter 5 verses 23. It speaks on this self-control. It says gentleness and self-control. Against such thing, there is no law. So for me, this is a green flag. If the person is mature to walk away to know that I don't want to argue in anger, right?
Yeah.
And now we did all of this, and we take a little walk into our phone workshop with all the technology, and we talk about the device that ruined relationship, which is the infamous phone. Such a beautiful device, can do so many things, and with all good, they can be bad. So a lot of you think boundary means checking his password, but we have discussed that earlier. That's not necessarily a boundary. That is a lack of trust. Now, we are going to talk about what boundary really is. Boundaries for us means putting up walls, but boundaries aren't necessarily walls to keep people out, but they are gates. So when you look at this beautiful little lamp with the candle in there, it's a gate to the back of all that glass wall to let the right people in. So how do we set a gate? Here is a script that you can use tonight when talking to yourself. So there's a situation, I'm not comfortable sending that photo. So you know somebody asks you for some pictures and you say, I'm not comfortable sending that photo. I want to keep something just for us in person. Or sometimes, like myself, I need my me time. So if you tell the person, I need me time to recharge tonight, let's talk tomorrow. So these are little things that you do to set boundaries, because me personally, I have to reset and restart. And if I don't thrive in cluster. If I'm at home and I need to start some work on the computer, as crazy as people think, I'm going to reorganize, clean, sweep, and everything around me has to be in order. It's just me personally. So when life gets a little hectic and chaotic, I need me time, right? And so if the person responds to these would be no or not yet or I don't agree, they just showed you why you needed that boundary in the first place. See, when you look at that lamp, you are that light in that lamp. And the glass around it is protecting that light. And when you open that gate and you let somebody in, it's because you're adding additional protection to keep your light and your love shining, right? And so, Faith, at this point, we're going to do a connection to the Bible, right? So we talk a lot about finding the one or shooting your shot, and there are plenty of fish in the sea. But let's look at real relationship goals in the Bible. And we're going to look at the Ruth and Boaz story from the Bible. I know many of you, Tyler Perry took out some version to it. I haven't seen it, Faith haven't seen it, but maybe you can tell us in the comment if you've seen it. And I want to give you some real facts, because their story wasn't a fairy tale, right, Faith? It was a grind. It was hard work.
It was a little tough in the beginning.
Yes. So
it got there.
First thing that we look at, Ruth was not in queen mode like I wanted to be in a sofa laid up. Ruth was busy. What was Ruth busy doing?
She was cleaning in the fields.
Yes, she was out cleaning the field, not taking selfie, not going to take something from the field and hang out. She was in the field working in the sun. And the lesson we learned from this lady is that if you want a king, you need to be a queen of industry. And a lot of time we look at these stories with king and queen and we feel like the queen was just there sitting pretty, and that was not the case. Many of the stories, that queen was the support, was the one giving advice, was the one battling, right? So she, in her, we always say we want a king, but we have to learn as well how to be a queen and not a princess of idleness, right? And the next fact is that who was Boaz? Boaz was a what? See?
He was a protector.
A
And
protector.
that's really nice.
Yes.
You know, it's just nice to have that kind of safety when you're with
Mhm.
someone.
So, like, as a child growing up, who is your protector?
My dad, like
Mhm.
I sometimes like as soon as I'm with my parents, sometimes I turn off my brain and
Yes.
I just not to think about nothing, and then I just hear my dad say, "Oh, Faith, not go over there," and I okay.
Yes, like you
And
don't
that's
even
nice
have to be careful because you know
that
my
they're looking out for
protector is
me.
there. And I always pride myself in being an independent woman. But you know, sometimes I want to not be an independent woman. But in order for me to do that is if I have a protector in my presence. Because if I can let my guard down, that would be one of the best feelings. Because I don't want to be fighting all the time. I don't want to be independent all the time. I want to be a queen. Right? And so Boaz was a protector because in Ruth chapter 2 verse 9, Boaz tell his worker, I have ordered the young men not to touch you. He didn't come with a psst, psst energy and hey Miss Lady. He created a safe zone around her. Right? So remember, Boaz was a protector. So gentlemen, you should be a protector as well.
Yeah.
Next thing, I believe that he provided without pressure. There was no pressure. He blessed her, but he didn't make her owe him anything. So, ladies, are you working in the field like Ruth? Men, are you protecting her reputation like Boaz? God isn't keeping someone from you. Remember, God is preparing you to handle someone of that quality. Because Ruth made sure that she was someone worth protecting.
Yeah.
And Boaz made sure that he protected her. Now we have been talking, and I know the conversation was very interesting. And I hope you guys learned something we are able to share with you guys. But it's time for the triple threat quiz. So, Harmony family, you have been with us, and it's time to reward your patience, something I learned. And you heard all the stories. Now, let's secure some coins in case you spent all on that Valentine gift, right? It's time for us to bless one of you lucky winner with $100 triple threat prize. So, to win, you must call us at 2255016, 2255016, and answer all three questions that I'm about to say to you guys correctly. Now, do not call until I say go. Now, the three questions are the verse. What chapter and verse in Proverbs says, guard your heart? And it was shown twice. And there was an analogy that we used to learn about boundaries, that boundaries aren't walls. They are blank. And we also told the story of Ruth and Boaz. In the story, Ruth was a hard worker and Boaz was a blank. So, remember, call us 2255016, 2255016. $100, and we send it directly into your account. You message us after you have answered, and we provide you with that beautiful click click. And that's a pretty song when you get a cash transfer, right? And we just believe that you guys are sticking with us. You tune into you tune into our show, and we just want to bless you guys to know that you are there, that you are sitting, because we all know this is a Christian talk show, and if you click that button and you decide that you want to tune in and learn God's word, and just share that word online. We want to be able to bless you guys in any way or shape or form, right?
Yeah.
So once again, the three questions. We want to know Proverbs, what speaks about guarding your heart, and we use an analogy about boundaries, that they aren't really wall, where they aren't supposed to be wall, they are supposed to be blank. And in the story with Ruth and Boaz, Ruth was working hard in the field, and Boaz was a what? What was Boaz's role in this relationship? Right?
Yeah.
Faith, you got the answers?
Yeah, but sadly I can't call in.
We-
But
I think I can ask for a break and quickly go to the back. I need to make a call.
oh, something I wanted to share though is I was listening to this sermon online
All right, wait,
where
I didn't say go. Go!
yeah.
Maybe that's the reason. Go! All right, remember
Yeah.
22555016. Go ahead and share your story, Faith.
So, as we were talking about Ruth and Boaz, we mentioned their values and what they brought to the table. And something they were sharing in the message was that God said that husbands should love their wives as God loves the church, right? And so, as a woman, you should be someone, well, the way God loved the church was that he was willing to die for it. So you should be someone worth dying for. And husbands should be willing to put their lives on the line for their spouse. So there's both ends need to have to offer something. It's never one-sided in these relationships. And so that's why I like the story of Ruth and Boaz. It was never one-sided in
Yep.
any way. They were both offering, they were both working in this relationship. So something online likes to portray is that it's very one-sided and that it's only princess treatment and you only supposed to give the woman all the attention.
Like the discussion when they say men were asking females, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
And then the female be like, I'm the table.
Exactly.
Yes.
But you have to be someone worthy of being, someone putting their life on the line for. So, those are points of reflection.
Yeah.
If you're not in a relationship yet, will
head into it. Hour one with that in mind.
yeah. Are you someone there would be willing to die? A man would be willing to die for?
Yeah.
Or are you willing to die for your wife? Like, are you willing to love them that much? Because that's
Right.
what you need to
we
be
have to
offering.
remember what was Boaz's role in all of this. But he was only given that. He was only able to give that role because he had someone worth being that too, right? So
Yeah.
remember, call 22555016 if you have the answer for the three-part question. Proverbs says, what part of Proverbs says, guard your heart? So Proverbs what? Chapter what? Verse what? We said an analogy, boundaries are walls. They are what? And the last one is in the story about Ruth and Boaz. Boaz was a blank, right? 22555016. And remember, ladies, we want to follow, ladies and gentlemen, we want to follow in Ruth and Boaz footsteps. Be someone worth dying for and be willing to die for her. No, we're not saying
that you actually have to.
yeah, but we are saying that the qualities are so great that that is the emotion you're able to evoke in a relationship.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start to wrap up our show, but if you still have the answers, I'm hoping that you can put it in the comment section and we can get a call from you. Right? So remember, the questions we're gonna keep the questions, and if you have an answer, you can call in. Right? So I hope they put the phone number in the comment section, and you're able to still call while we move on to this section. Okay? And so we move on, and we hope that you guys can have the answers to our question and call in before the end of the show. Good. So remember the three questions, Proverbs, chapter what, verse what, and we use the analogy that boundary is supposed to be a blank, and what was Boaz's role in that relationship? We're hoping to give away to $100 to a lucky winner. But before we go, here's a challenge for the week. List the list of 3. Now, Faith has made it very clear her non-negotiable is one thing, a non-believer. But if you have 3 non-negotiable values. Write them down. And your partner must have them. So if you're dating someone who doesn't have them, then it's time for a conversation. And if you're going into a relationship, that's 3 non-negotiable. You let it know from the beginning. These are my non-negotiable. And if they cannot meet those standards, then in faith words, run.
Yes.
All right, it's time for birthday and sponsors, and we gave a whole long list last time. Let me find my list. Faith, you have anybody to wish birthday?
Yes. So yesterday was my darling Kristen's birthday, and I just, well, she celebrated it a little early because it was in Taiwan, and they're ahead of us. But just happy birthday again to my darling Kristen, and I hope you had a wonderful day. I know she had a very interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Kristen. And at the end of the month, I want to say happy birthday to my niece, Amari. So happy birthday, sweetheart, and I hope you have a wonderful one.
Okay, so those, and we're gonna stick to those celebrating birthday today. We have Miss Rufina Mitchell celebrating birthday today, and one of our past guests, Miss Tennille Humes, along with her twin, Tyra Humes, they're both celebrating. Her and her sister are celebrating birthday. I know they have something special, and they're gonna have a lot of fun. And upcoming birthday, I must say once again, my mother, who is celebrating birthday this Wednesday, and she is on holiday, relaxing. And I know she's gonna have a good one. We might not do the full celebration on Wednesday, but definitely she's all mine weekend, and we'll do our celebration on the weekend, right? And my sisters, Cynthia, her Melinda Hilton, I'm used to calling her Cynthia Lenoir Crawford, will be celebrating birthday as well. And just to repeat, I really can't just do some, we gotta do all. My coworker, Mr. Joshua Salam, he's celebrating birthday tomorrow. We had some names here. Well, we had already wish Kirsten Keda, Mosiah Palacio, Miss Joan Roches, Avery Gomez, Dana Spencer, Carol Tillett, Jessica Rowland, and Jareen Henry. Happy birthday, and we wish you many more. We pray God's blessing on you. And we want to say thank you, of course, to our sponsors. We're going to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Mosiah because we appreciate the space that we are able to stream this broadcast. Mrs. Armstrong, for your continued support in making the show possible. And remember, if you guys would like to assist as well, I believe we should have the information at the bottom of the screen where you can help us if you believe in what we're doing, if you're moved, if you're touched, if you enjoyed the show, and maybe just one segment you would like to sponsor. We are open, right? And with that said, we're going to end off. We're going to say a little prayer, something short. And then, oh, I'm forgetting the old, not old, but beautiful, faithful, HarmonyMedia style birthday song. So enjoy your birthday song.
It's your special day, hooray! God's love is shining all the way with joy and laughter, blessings too. We celebrate this day with you. Happy, happy birthday. May God bless you. May His love and favor shine in all you do. Dancing, rejoice, today's your day. May His grace be with you all the way. joy in your heart. Walk in His light, stand in His grace, forever held in His embrace. God is good forever and always. Happy, happy birthday. May God bless you. May His love and favor shine in all you do. Dance and rejoice, today's your day. May His grace be with you all the way. Ooh, may His grace be with you all the way. Clap your hands, lift your voice, shout hooray. God is good forever and always.
Happy birthday once again, and may His grace be with you all the way. Now, let's go ahead and pray. Lord, we pray for the marriages of the future. We speak against the spirit of settling. Give our young men strength to be protectors, and give our young women grace to know their worth is far above rubies. May our love stories point people back to you. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. Right? And what I end off with one short advice. So don't give forever feelings to temporary people. And of course, remember to follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course on HarmonyMediaNetwork.com, where we have our live TV and radio playing 24/7 for you guys to enjoy some lovely Christian music and Christian movie 24/7. Anytime you click it, there'll be a Christian movie or music playing. Any last word, Faith?
Just happy Valentine's Day. And remember, you can always show love. And if you are showing love, make it be God's love.
All right. So I'm your host, Dina Avila, and this is Harmony Perspective. Remember, be like Ruth, and be a worker, be like Boaz, and be a protector. Hope you have a wonderful Valentine. Good night, Belize.